What's up, people? Sorry I didn't do this last night, but today hold on, let me adjust my camera. Anyway, today I am doing a movie my friend Blake recommended me, called Bird on a Wire. I've never seen this movie. I don't even think I ever heard of it. I like it. It's very simple, but basically the premise is essentially a movie about Mel Gibson, who is on the run, or his main character is Rick, but he's in hiding because he ended up fingering drug smuggling DA agent, and yeah, who basically he fingered him in a crime, and so he had to fake his death and go in. It's kind of like those films where then he ends up getting exposed, and man, it's a fun one. It's basically him on the run from the cops, and and Eugene, played by David Carradine, who I thought was a pretty good bad guy. You have Bill Duke in this movie. Um, and basically, yeah, it's him on the run with an old flame named Marianne, and basically that's kind of the movie. That's really it. Like they, have to try to run from cops, and basically Joe, played by, I'm trying to remember that actor, because that actor's in like a lot of movies. Oh, Steven Tobolowsky. I've seen him in like a lot of other movies at the same time. That scene where he just, tells Rick, no, everything's fine. And then you see Sorensen's thing released on parole. It's so shitty. It's like, but Mel's great in this. I thought him and Marianne had great chemistry. That's actually some of my favorite things in the whole movie is the chemistry between the two of them. Like, you buy them as a couple. Like the chase scenes were fun. It's not long. And yeah, it's a fun one. Even it ends in a fucking zoo. It ends with Rick and Sorensen fighting over a tiger pit. Like it's out there, but it's a fun one. I definitely recommend it. Gotta thank Blank for recommending this one because I love Mel Gibson, and even his movies like this, where obviously it's not based off of any of his major IPs, but I really like it. So I'm definitely gonna watch it again. I actually thought the soundtrack was nice and fun too, and yeah, so later I will be doing Extraction 2. I'm probably going to watch that in a couple hours. And I'll be reviewing that. And then tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to do anything. I mean, maybe something will come up in my head because there's a part. Actually, you know what I might do? If I can, I'll probably talk about, because they announced Stream 7 the other day. And I'm going to just talk about why that franchise just needs to kind of be put to bed. So I might talk about that tomorrow. And it's a maybe. I got to see how my Saturday goes, but I'll do that. And then Sunday, because I think either tonight or sometime tomorrow I'm seeing the Meg 2. So, but if I see it, okay, here's what I'll do. If I see the Meg 2 tonight, I might review it tomorrow, and we'll just do Meg 1 next week. And then I'll do that Scream video on Sunday. If not, I'll do it vice versa. It depends. But anyway, but other than that, let's get started on a Burn on a Wire. Movie opens up. This is where I meet Marianne. He's a successful lawyer. This happens, sorry. Sorensen gets freed from prison. And while this happens, this is where we meet Rick. He's undercover, posing as a Vietnam War veteran. This is where he first sees Marianne, who passes by. And yeah, he recognizes her, but then acts like somebody else. So while this happens, because he realizes he's been because basically he's been hiding for 15 years from Sorensen, who he basically he's why he ended up in jail basically. So Rick calls the police. Well, not the police, like the FBI. While this happens, this is where FBI agent Joe, who's colluding with Stevenson, basically kind of coerces Rick to give him like basically give him his name and like where he lives and shit. Basically trying to show everything is fine. In this scene on the computer, what you clearly see by like Sorensen's name, released on parole. He's like, no, everything's fine. It's like, god damn, what a fucking piece of shit. I was like, that is a good bad guy though. So one night, because Marianne suspects that it is Rick. Well, while this happens, Sorensen shows up, tries to kill Rick, but Rick manages to escape. But unfortunately, his boss, who he works for at as a mechanic, ends up getting killed. Building ends up getting blown up. So basically, yeah, they try to kill Rick for revenge. It's a pretty good fight scene. Like I think David Carradine, who I mainly remember from Kill Bill, but I love him in this movie. He plays a good bad guy. I thought he has that like bad guy look about him too, and I think he makes it believable. So they manage to escape. So Rick and Marianne reconnect. And this is where we find out that they had actually been almost married. So basically, so Rick has to try to get some contacts to prove his name because now he's being framed for murder, basically. I'm assuming it's the mechanic that was killed actually by Sorensen. And we even get a funny scene where he goes to because he goes to a beauty salon, he pretended to be a gay guy. That's the thing. Things like that you couldn't even do now because because you're quote unquote it's homophobia. Even though I'm gonna say it, there are a lot of gay people that act like that in that scene. Sorry, I live in LA. I can tell you. But it was a funny scene, and just Mel Gibson, I thought, really showed his like versatility. Because it's not a comedy; it's really very much, I would say, more of an action. But it does have some comedic moments. So then he goes back to an old flame of his, who's a veterinarian, so he can like go into hiding, so he can get some stuff. Because he has to get rid of the buckshot, because somebody shot him with a buckshot in the butt, which was pretty funny. And I think the one thing I like about this movie too is the connection between Rick and Marianne. Like I felt like Mel Gibson and Goldie Hawn had really good chemistry. I thought like that was like one of my favorite things in the movie is they actually felt like a couple. It wasn't just they're a movie couple. They actually felt like they were in love and they were on this adventure together. It was very believable. So Marianne and Rick kind of get into an argument because she thinks he saw her with the veterinarian like together, but no. Then yeah, so basically, yeah, he's on the run from the police and Sorensen. That's why I kind of love on the run films because it's like you're gonna get a lot of a good chase scene, but also it's like you can kind of put yourself like imagine you're on the run, and you have to run from not just police, some other dude who's trying to fucking kill you. So, Marianne and Rick manage to escape while his veterinarian ex tries to fight off so they fight off as well while he fights off Sorensen's people. Rick and Marianne make it to a hotel where they would slowly start reconnecting and have sex. Yeah. So they managed to make it back to Rick's old handler, but because of the Alzheimer's, which that's such a sad thing to have, doesn't remember him. That's when Sorensen and his people show up. And we get a big chase scene, which leads to a zoo, which I love. I love that the final fight is at a zoo. And what Rick does is release like a bunch of animals so they can kind of like be a distraction. Which Bill Duke's character gets killed by a lion, which I thought that was like, damn, dude. You had no weapon, and it's like, fuck, bro. Because it's either, I think they were jaguars, or it was either a jaguar or it was a leopard. One of those. And then the next cage is a fucking lion, because he thinks he got away, and then it's like, oh shit, a lion. Then we get a big chase scene between Sorensen. Rick manages to kill Joe by sending him into a water full of piranhas. Like, the kills are kind of brutal, like, for a little action film. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought the scene where, like, while everything's going on, Marianne ends up in a tiger pen, and she has to try to get away from the tigers. Like, I thought that was a fun little sequence, even though, like, yeah, it's not, like, part of the plot, like, she's just getting chased by tigers, but I'm not gonna lie, like, I can kind of, like, I was, like, like, watching that scene, I was like, dude, I can, like, imagine not just being chased by one, but two. So, Rick and Sorensen end up fighting on, like, a rope thing, and thing breaks. And then they're both being basically dangling over tigers. Rick manages to knock Sorensen off. Sorry about that. Sorensen gets electrocuted to death. And Rick manages to get saved by Marianne before he basically does, like, his foot is gone and thing. He's basically dangling over a tiger, but he manages to escape. And after this is like during this, he basically tells Marianne that I hope that you're the woman I want to marry and have kids with. And then basically it ends with them, like, you know, romantic on a boat. Movie ends. I love it, man. I love this little movie. Fun little action movie. Very simple plot. I thought David Carradine was a great bad guy. Same with Bill Dukes. He kind of plays a good bad guy. Granted, he wasn't a bad guy in Predator, but it's like he was a bad guy in this and Commando. I think he plays a good bad guy. And even Joe was a good, like, kind of secondary bad guy. Like, no, everything's fine. Released on parole. About Sorensen. I was like, bruh. But overall, I love this movie. Fun action scenes. I love the chase scenes. The chemistry between Mel and Goldie Hawn was good. Like, they actually felt like a real couple. It wasn't just, oh, they're a movie couple that just happened to be put together. Like, no, they actually felt like a real couple. But yeah, like, it's just, that's really all I can say. It's a fun little movie. I definitely recommend it. I don't think it's on a service, but I could be wrong. But yeah, if I had a 10, I give it a 9. I enjoyed it. I thought the soundtrack was fun little movie. Like, it's all it needed to be. It's nothing more, nothing less. Even the cops who were going after Rick were kind of fun. But yeah, guys, that's all I can really say. Later tonight, I will be doing the Extraction 2, which I can't wait. Because Extraction 2 is easily, that might be like my third favorite movie of the year. Like, that movie was, like, the first one is good, but this one, like, the level raised, it does. It raises all the levels. Like, they went all out with Extraction 2, so I can't wait to talk about that. The cinematography, dude, it's intense, bro. So yeah, for sure, I'm gonna talk about that later. Um, if I see the Meg tonight, then I'll probably review it tomorrow, some point. Or if I see it on Saturday, we'll do my Scream needs to end video tomorrow because it needs to fucking end. I love Scream, but it needs to end. It's like, Jesus. I don't think Wes Craven ever intended 7 fucking movies. So I'm gonna talk about that either tomorrow or Sunday. Um, but yeah. Oh, I want to announce this next Friday because there's been a lot of Spider-Man talk lately. I've been kind of wanting to do this, I just haven't had the time. But now that there's only 2 Extraction movies, I have free Fridays now, and I'm not doing Candyman. I'm gonna go and do the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, just those movies. Maybe I'll do the Amazing ones. I'll see how I feel after I'm done with those. But I do want to do the Raimi Spider-Man films, and I think we'll do the first one next Friday. So I can't wait. Figured since I got really nothing to review right now, and I don't think there's anything out next week at least. Oh no, wait, no, never mind. Voyage of the Meter, but I don't think I'm gonna see that Friday. So yeah, we could probably still do Spider-Man. But anyway, I'm gonna cheers out. Watch Bird on a Wire, especially if you love Mel Gibson. It's just Mel Gibson being an awesome character and showing Casey how awesome he is. So, but anyway, cheers and peace out.